G'day all, Sharpie101 here, and welcome back to another episode of Automation Nation Survival. How the sniff is everyone today? As always, I've been busy off camera with the 100 sub drone hub drilling time lapse. Make sure you check out the description as well as the video, as it's got lots of PC specs, lots of info, a little embarrassing secret, as well as the next planned 2 months worth of YouTube videos I plan to release. So it's really good stuff. Make sure you check it out. But as it turns out, this week is going to be all about drones. This episode is going to be all about this circle of protection drone tower you see right here. But first of all, we need to print up and build another one of these solar panel arrays. But first of all, I've emptied out those mobile drilling rigs before I moved them and did the drilling on these hubs. I'll show you very shortly. Let's get over here and start this sorting system up, completely vanilla, as I do have an auto crafting script, the Izzy's inventory, but the way I've stopped the sorting of the ingots, ores, and components is I've added the keyword locked to every cargo container there is, so it makes it nice and simple, nice and easy. So the way this all works, each button here represents each one of these axes. If you call it one there, one there, one there, and one there. This one here will process and refine the stone, iron, nickel, and silicon. This one has the cobalt and gold, the platinum and silver, and the magnesium and uranium. Very nice and easy. So let's start up this one here, which this button is just connected to a timer, which will turn on the respective sorters to allow it to be pushed in from the main storage into the refineries themselves with those modules, to be refined and then pushed into these big containers on the ends to be nice and stored, nice and safe, easy. The buttons over here are just to start the scrap processing. So these ones right on the top, the yellow and the red, just a basic refinery, just to process any scrap I have in the world nice and simply. Button 2 is to return the ingots. Very simple. I know I'm using that word a lot, but it is very simple. And the reason why I've got the connector to disconnect while that sort of turns on is that if that were to be still connected, it would just recircle and recycle that system over and over and over again. So I'd want it to pull everything from the world into that container, so it would only need one intake, as it can't go through the refinery. It goes up and over, bypassing this disconnected connector, through the sorter and into its respective container, all on the ends nice and simply. Return the ingots, that's what that one was. We've got the clear assemblers, as I've got a nice sorter just on the edge of each one of these assemblers there to clear any of the ingots, the gravel, or any of the ores, or anything that may be clogging it up going through everything. Button 4 is just the speed modules, just to speed everything up, but we can press that once we've got this up and going. First of all, I've got a new G menu. Nice and simple, nice and easy. We've got lots of things, lots of stuff that I'm going to have to relearn, but it took me about an hour to organize all that, so let's see how it goes, as it may change in the future, like a lot of stuff. So, let's get into the drone hubs. As I'm looking at my notes very quickly, let's get down to the bottom floor, nice and easy. All the way down, perfect. Bottom floor, menswear. Let's turn this off very quickly. And let's drill into here to explain. All that. Thank you very much. Awesome sauce. So the way this is set up is actually really simple. If I run on over here, as this is a lot bigger than I was expecting, but I want the drones to come in through the top, come over to the side and then dock up nice and safely. Even if the drones were up the top, they still wouldn't be able to attack through the voxels, etc. So I reckon that's going to be exciting. Give me some plans in the comment below, but let's get into how I worked this and how it's all set up. All of these pistons are just on inertia tensor to make them nice and solid. I right-clicked, drilled this whole thing to stay in this control seat throughout the 25-minute drill that it took this whole thing to finish. And the way I did it was I right-clicked and held it, Opened up the terminal, let go of the right click, and closed down the terminal, and I left it as is. Changed the spectator camera, etc, etc, but at the same time, it's screwed with the sun rotation. But I'm going to leave it as is, as it will make it harder for me and pretty much screw-proof or bad-proof, or however you want to say it, all my designs that I'm using in this survival series to make sure that they don't screw up when you use them. So the harder it is for me in this survival, the better it is for everyone watching today. So the way I set this all up was, apart from drilling, is it was set for 61 seconds to rotate all the way around and start the next timer, which would then turn on the pistons, inevitably pushing them out to do the next layer, and starting the next timer, which would then turn them off. So inevitably, all it would do is that every 61 seconds, it would turn the pistons on to push them out and start a 2-second timer that after 2 seconds, it would turn off the pistons, stopping them from moving, then continuing on with that layer of the 61 seconds and repeating entirely over and over and over again. About 25 minutes or so, so it wasn't too bad. But obviously, there was 2 of them, so I had to do it twice. Let's get back in here, as I've got a fantastic little name for our bot that Peppo HD gave me. I think it is extremely suiting, so let's go up to level 1. Level 1, ladies wear. Well, let's get in here. Let's get into the name, shall we? Let's go to the drone bot, and he mentioned Little 101, which I thought was really quite suiting. So let's build him up. And he's had quite a few problems, this mod, but it is brand new, mind you. It has problems welding up in a circle through voxels, etc. So I had to give him a hand, but it is what it is, and he's still helped me out a lot. He's going to be great in the future, as well as that combat bot. I've already got a few plans for him in the future, including that zombie hit grinder. So we'll see how that one goes, as that's awesome. Let's store that out of the way. Less lag. What else have we got? Looking at my list as we go up the top. That's right. We need to get into this solar array. Now, as promised, last episode has not been touched. But moving on, let's get into this welder drone and get into welding up this second, what's the name? Second solar array. Here we go. Let's turn the thrusters on and disconnect. This one should be nice and easy while I weld this up and explain a lot of the stuff that I've been doing off camera and testing and all sorts of good stuff. So first of all, I plan to possibly release a separate time-lapse of those drone hubs from like 2 different angles I've recorded, as I've done 3 of those recordings now. It is just what it is. But I think that will turn out quite well. I might release that, I don't know, like a day or 2 when it's finished. I've also finished testing a zombie grinder pit, which is a little buggy. It does work perfectly fine, and it does kill them, but I cannot automatically collect their dropped components and or meat without like a build and repair nanobot picking it up for me, because it drops the player cargo type thing. The collectors and everything like that just can't actually collect it itself. I've tested it, just doesn't work. But it will be what it is. I'm also planning on making a vanilla solar alignment thing that will work along the lines of pistons, so it can work with my solar brain and pack itself away as always. But we'll see how that goes. Let's see if we can get all this in nice and safe. You gonna let me do it? Alright, might need to get these 2 in before I can get this. Yep, there it is, beauty. Oh, get a little bit closer. Awesome sauce. So the drone tower is quite large, and before the end of the episode, I will trigger at least one of the Minefield drones that I will have set up on it, including showing you the GPSs and blah blah blah. But I will revert the save afterwards, just to make it nice and easy until everything's done and trigger it in the next episode. But let me finish all of this up and I'll get right back to you. Awesome sauce. Now that that's all welded up in 2 easy trips, let's get into activating it all back up again as I put it away nice and simply so Clang didn't visit. Let's dock this up and press that emergency button as if we were getting attacked on that solar brain to bring them back out again. Let's lock back up, bring it back to the character, hold it over that shutdown button just like so, jump to the spectator camera and press that button. I've been waiting for this moment the entire series. No lie. Absolutely been waiting for this moment the entire time. It's been the most satisfying part, I reckon, of this whole thing. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So much power incoming. Oh, it's brilliant. Like the Star Wars theme in the background. That'd be great if I could. But jumping back to the character, the whole thing about this week. Let's get to it. I need to go to the main projector, which is down the bottom, turn it on, and I'll jump to my spectator camera as it's quite big. And this at the moment does not have any drones in the blueprint at the moment, but we will be adding them in the temporary base in this episode, at least one of, and setting up a few GPS points and triggering it nice and simply, nice and easily, just so we can get it all done and I can finish it off out of camera. Cool bananas. So let's get into that projector again and go into show only buildable. Alrighty then, let me build this entire monstrosity of a thing up and I'll be right back. Alrighty then, it's finally all done except for one conveyor and one angled window, which I am unable to find. But the way I built this up and the way I've got this elevator working is I actually welded all of these pistons up and extended them way before I even continued building on with this tower. So the way I welded it up is that I just welded from this pillar on up on all 4 corners and then finished off the top, the outside layer with all these small little half armor blocks, and then finally with these outsticking connectors right there and the stairs. Nice and simply. Kinda, sorta, yeah, it took me a little while, but it was done finally, so we can move on. Let's get rid of this drone, but very quickly I might as well explain, as it will be in my drone tutorial anyways, most of the drones on this tower, especially the Minefield drone that's on the top around the outside there, and then the one in the middle is my player follow drone that works completely on an extended mod using sensors, a 1200 meter mod. It is absolutely fantastic. It's my actual second favorite at the moment. It used to be my first, but at the moment multi-grid projector has overtaken that. So let's go and dock this up. Let's get into setting it all up, shall we? Printing off an extra drone even, and doing some great stuffs and things. So there we go, turn all that off, disconnect. So let's just use my rudimentary stairs to get up to the tippy top, like so. I'll change those stairs eventually as they're really ugly, but this is Drone Tower Mark 3, as I've put the windows and an elevator in to make it much simpler without the jetpack. But I don't have enough for the 2 reactors that usually sit right here. And I'm unsure of putting in my survival kit that usually goes right here as well, as I might want to put that in a more protected spot other than right at the top of my tower with like nothing on top. So let's get up to top here, nice and easy. So these are where all my Minefield drones go, and each of them have 3 mines that can be deployed at 3 set GPS points, which I will set up in this episode, which will then trigger and drop each one of those payloads, come back to the base to be printed up nice and easy from my welder drone, and then simple as I can just press the same button on the same panel, this one right here, to then activate them all over again. The middle one would be the player follow drone using that sensor mod. And as we come on down the stairs this time, these connectors on the outside are for slow moving patrol drones that will circle the base at my first A markers, but we'll get there in just a moment. Alrighty then. Let's get over here, let's come on down, and let's fly on over to the to the temporary base and get some stuff printed up, shall we? So I'll see you there in just a moment. Alrighty, let's get stuck into this Minefield drone and trigger it around this base, as it nearly got destroyed during my drone hub time lapse, but let's disconnect it from the grid, get into its remote block, and I'll explain very briefly what it's going to do, as it's going to be a lot more about this in my part 2 drone tutorial coming out later on this week. Make sure you check it out. So what it's going to do is going to automatically, where it is now, go in a forward orientation with the remote block, fly up to the cargo approach above us, go to T1, T2 and T3, dropping each one of its 3 payloads, the back, left and then the right. It will fly back to the cargo approach, come down to a GPS just in front of where the drone is now, and have a reverse function on that remote block, and then it should dock back right onto that merge block again. So let's get into this, activate it up like so, nice and easy. Press that button to turn that merge block back on again, and let's jump up the top and watch this do its magic, shall we? Nice and easy. Here we go, here we go. Let's turn all that stuff off. We don't need it, so it should go up to the cargo approach that we made earlier on in the season. It will then fly over to T1, just there, then to T2, and then to T3, back up to cargo approach, come down to the dock close, reverse back to the Minefield dock, and dock up, ready to be reprinted and sent over to the tower. Nice and easy to continue, so we can get those GPSs started and finished off camera. There you go, there's the first one, nice and easy. Here comes the second one, on its way down. Now remember, you have to watch the speed on drones, as any faster it will overshoot that GPS location and take longer to then correct itself back on if it's on precise mode like these are, and they have to be because they dock. They also have collision avoidance off, otherwise they can't run into the connector or merge to dock as well, so keep that noted for future. Here we go, there's the third one. Here it comes on back up to the cargo approach, nice and easily. Get rid of all that as much as possible. Here it comes. Down it goes. Let's go over here and let's see if we can get a nice good position for it. Oh, perfect, look at this. Here it comes down to the dock close, just like so. As you see, it's spinning itself around, orienting itself, ready to reverse. Done, just like so. Let's jump down. Ooh, did a little bit of damage, that's fine. Nice and simple. Cool beans, cool beans. So let's go into the Minefield's projector that's on the drone itself. Turn it on. Let's turn all of these merge blocks back on again, just like normal. Oh, I might have turned the wrong thing off. Yes, I did. Let's turn that one on, please. And that one. I think I did that the first time as well, funny enough. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Let's get those pistons back over and the increased velocity, nice and quick. And then you decrease the velocity to return it printing, nice and slowly. Here we go. I love this printer setup. It's so simple and easy. Like, just get some conveyors on the side. You can even get this thing on a rotor. Use less printers or less welders, etc. to get it all done. So let's turn that off, and then I need to decrease that velocity. It won't move as they're off. Let's turn those welders on and let's print this bad boy up. Ding, 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 ding. Weld, weld, weld. Stuff and things. Good stuff and things. Whoa. Excellent. That looks like that's about as far as it will go. Cool, cool. Let's turn that piston back on again so it will then retract. I think once more I need to get those small cargo containers back in again, but that's alright. That should be fine. I can do that off camera very quickly. Oh, there goes the smart suit with the automatic helmet on because of the storm. Love that mod. It's got so many more settings on it that I just don't use for the fact I don't have a jetpack. So, anyways, cool, cool, cool. There we go, there we go, there we go. Cool. So remember, when you're adding the inventory, the ammo and the chutes into this, make sure the ammo is first and then the chutes. And easy inventory, it's just Alt, middle mouse button on each one of these, nice and simply. 1, 2, and 3. Cool bananas. See, as you see, come on. Let's go into the small cargo. There we go. They're all nice and ammoed. Good, good, good. So let's go over to this one. I need to get the small one. 1, 2. Thank you very much. Let's build these up nice and quick. Doing. There we go. There. Oh, there we not. Get that last bit. Yoink. Hope this storm doesn't last too long. Hate not having any sight. I accidentally added that twice. Go away. Thank you very much. I need to go you and you. Get in. See, that's what happens when you don't have it up front like I was saying. It gets stuffed around and other stuff get put in. Cool bananas. So that should all be charged up as there's a main battery on the middle of the drone, and then each one of these have their small batteries which will last about 8 hours or so. Let's get into the remote block on this bad boy and let's change it so it will go over to our main base. So we want it to go to cargo approach, and then I want it to remove all these. So give me a second, I'll be right back after this is all set up. Alrighty, now that the storm's all gone and we're all sweet, let's disconnect it. I'll show you the remote block and what it's going to do, but it will obviously show you when I trigger it in just a second. It will reset itself by going forward command with the remote block. It will go above us now, and then above the main base, cargo approach. So let's go straight up here and trigger it like so. Awesome sauce. So let's bring these pistons back in, as I'd really like to get a patrol drone up and running, as in charging for the next episode. Bring it on in, bring it on in. Awesome sauce. Come on in. Same exact thing. Let's turn the welders on when it's finished. Yep, cool. Welders on. Decrease the velocity, and away it shall go. Phantasmic. Where's that patrol drone? Sorry, Minefield Drone. There it goes. Off on its way while this is building up. Awesome. There we go, all done. Cool bananas. So let's turn those welders off and that will all retract. Cool, let's let that charge and let's get back to the main base. Get this all start setting up. Oh, keen as. Keen as. Cool, let's go. I'll see you there in a second. Alright, let's get these GPSs done for this tower, and let me explain at the same time. So disconnect the connectors so they're their own grid themselves. Connect to the Minefield drone just like so. Little bit off the connector, nice and easy. While you're in control, you want a GPS 2, or whatever your name for this dock is. I'm going to be naming them what you see ahead. So let's get into the temporary cameras I've got on this drone to mark them all out off camera later on. We're gonna turn off the connector on the bottom of this drone and let's fly forward to mark this first important one that needs to be accurate, as it cannot be any higher than the first dock of this drone, for the fact that the patrol drone uses this as for its patrol route. GPS 2A, there it is. Let's get back into the front camera and let's fly over the top of that solar array nice and easily. It does not matter after these what height they are. Let's get back into the bottom. Cool bananas. Let's go GPS 2B. Nice and easy. Fly on over. Keep it going. Keep it going. And these GPSs will also be each individual mine. GPS 2C. Fantastaroonie. Let's fly on backwards and get this thing docked up and get this remote block all set up nice and easy, and I'll get the rest off camera. There's been lots off camera in terms of recording, testing, more tutorials, more time lapses, which I'll have to do another one. I've already got next week's one done, so really excited about that one. It's really good actually. Have I missed it? Yes, I have. I need to go this way, and I need to turn it back on. There it is. There we go. Straighten it up a little bit. Connect back up, as it does not matter. Let's get into the remote block and set them all up. Let's remove all the old ones. Goodbye, old one. And let's get these new ones in. So what we want it to do is we want it to go to 2A, 2B, 2C, and then we want it to come back to the dock of 2. So the way it wants it to trigger everything, and all of this will be explained in my drone tutorial later this week, part 2. Make sure you check it out once again. First of all, let's disconnect this back again. So we've only got the one grid, as it does matter. I completely forgot. Let's go into here. Let's get into the setup actions. Right-o. So at 2A, we want it to drop the first mine. At 2B, we want it to drop the left one. At 2C, we also want it to drop the right. On its way back, and when it gets to the GPS point 2, we want it to start the secure dock, which will wait the 3 seconds for it to stabilize, and then lock the connector, as well as change some of the batteries and some of the settings. Make sure you download this and check it out for yourself. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's lock that back up, and that should be all set up. Let's go ahead and press the button and sign off, shall we? Just about. Ready, steady, and beep. Awesome sauce. Here it goes. So as I said, this week has been absolutely busy, as I've uploaded the unknown signal retriever drone to the workshop and mod.io as promised, even though it was a little bit late. I've got that large ship printer set up and ready to go for next week. Super excited about that one. I've tested if vanilla enemies, like vanilla spawned enemies, will they target nobody ownership? And I've found that they don't, which I think is quite game breaking. Like mid-game, change your whole grid to the ownership of nobody. You can still control it and have access to it, yet enemies won't attack it. But anyways, I've also tested if small grid and large grid solar panels both have the same surface area, so 4 small panels compared to 1 large, if they have the same power output, and they do. They have it absolutely identical. But I've also tested and made a zombie grinder pit, which works fantastically but won't automatically collect anything that is dropped. But just remember, before I go, that practically everything seen here is designed, built, and uploaded online without any mods, DLCs, or scripts, as I enjoy the challenge of building vanilla. But as always, if you like my designs or want to know more, then check out the description below for all the download links and heaps more. I'd also appreciate it while you are there to like and comment your thoughts or suggestions, as I will certainly reply. Once again, thanks for watching, and stay sharp till next time. Look at that. Perfect. Nice and easy, and lock. Ready to be printed up. Ready to go all over again. So just print it up, press the button again, away it goes in the exact same spots. Nice and easy. Cool beans, I'll sort that out off camera. Until next time, thank you again for watching. It's been an absolute experience, and this episode has been a lot of setup. Absolutely a lot of setup. So I hope everyone loves this episode, and I hope everything has come across in the way I've expected it to. If not, make sure you check out that another tutorial and next week's series. Till then, ciao.